sites. And
The Apple thing is really big news because it kind of goes to show you that you had a pretty progressive legislative framework in South Korea. I don't think it's particularly a huge market for Apple because most of the app activity, I think, is Android more than it is Apple. But they basically just seeded the market, and by deciding to basically conform to this law, then they started with these reader apps and allowing payments, allowing
just so
you to link
people
down. It's the beginning of the beginning for the app stores to be deconstructed and opened.
This, just so people understand, Apple said it would allow media apps to create in-app links to sign-up pages on those companies' websites, allowing the likes of Spotify and Netflix to bypass the iPhone maker's cut of subscriptions. Now, of course, you can use Spotify and Netflix on your phone, but probably people haven't experienced this because they've already become members of it and did it on their site, but you can't actually pay through your phone and you can't sign up through the app. They were technically not allowed to link to it. So this is a small concession only to media folks. So what do you think, Sacks?
Well, I think Chamath has kind of said this at the beginning of the end. I think there's some truth to that. Look, I think the root of this is the fact that Apple has this 30% rate on any in-app purchases. And like Bill Gurley said, it's a rake too far, right? Just because you can charge 30% doesn't mean you should charge 30%. Ultimately, this is why the whole ecosystem has been up in arms. They formed an industry coalition to challenge Apple. That resulted in a lot of legal challenges, lawsuits, and a lot of these companies like Spotify and Tile, they testified against Apple in hearings. So I think this 30% rake has ultimately backfired on Apple. It's created a huge backlash, and now they're paying the price. They've already had to roll it back for these so-called reader apps. So, if what you're doing is buying a subscription to, say, Netflix will now be able to redirect you to their website. You can buy it there and then consume the content, on your iOS app without Apple getting a part of the split. But this now opens the door for this type of thing to apply to games as well, where there's a lot more in-app purchases, like Fortnite, right? So I just think this is a case where, what's the old line that pigs get fat and hogs get slaughtered? Apple has been a hog, and now it's getting slaughtered.